Welcome to Hello Talk English Pod.
Welcome to Hello Talk English Pod.
Hi, welcome to today's lesson. I'm Clem.
Hey, I'm Yumi.
Today we're looking at a conversation between Paul and Grace, who are students at NYU in Shanghai. So Grace is studying abroad, and Paul is her Chinese classmate. He's planning on studying abroad in New York next semester, and he has some questions about the application. Let's listen to the dialogue.
Hey, Paul. What is that piece of paper that you are holding?
It is an application to attend university in America, but I am confused why they ask for my ethnicity. I don't want to say because I'm afraid of discrimination.
It is true that there are issues of discrimination in America, but it is actually quite normal for an institution to make inquiries about race.
That seems so bizarre to me. How does it help them to know what race I am?
Institutions such as universities, hospitals, government, even employers usually ask this question. It helps them to meet quotas, but also with data analysis for health issues and academic performance.
Okay, it now makes more sense to me. But it is still unclear what to put. I do not see an option for Chinese.
Calm down. Just check the box for Asian. They do not usually differentiate between Chinese and other Asian groups.
So after hearing the dialogue, we can see that Grace starts the conversation asking about the piece of paper that Paul's holding. And Paul says, "It is an application to attend university in America, but I am confused why they ask for my ethnicity." So what exactly is ethnicity?
Good question, Clem. Ethnicity, this is your ethnic background, but it's also including your culture, your language, your nationality. These are all kind of considered ethnicity.
Yeah, anybody who belongs to a specific ethnicity has, some of these things in common.
Right. Afterward, Paul says, "I don't want to say because I am afraid of discrimination." So discrimination, this is a big word and very touchy,
Yeah.
right? But discrimination means to kind of treat people differently in a negative way based on their race, their age, their sex or sexuality, right?
Now, you can also discriminate by even not necessarily treating somebody worse, but also by treating somebody better. It is still negative because you're probably thinking about, not say putting somebody else down, but you're building somebody else up like that, like giving them preference because of, different categories.
Right. I mean, at the end of the day, they're treating people differently because of these things, for better or for worse.
Yeah, and they rather than looking at their skills or their merit, so if there's a specific job, they might be showing favor to somebody. If there's a job position, they might, and somebody discriminates, maybe based on the color of somebody's skin. They're giving preference to somebody else based on a category, a physical aspect, rather than, how good they can do at the position.
Right. And this is something that really should not be done.
No. So Grace responds to Paul by saying, "It is true that there are issues of discrimination in America, but it is actually quite normal for an institution to make inquiries about race." So an institution is an organization or an establishment, that promotes a specific program or an idea.
Right. And oftentimes institutions or these types of organizations will be around like a religion or education,
Yep.
political purpose, social purpose. For example, the government is a type of institution,
Yeah.
As well as the education system is a type of institution.
And what are inquiries?
So inquiries are basically questions, asking something or requesting something. But this is kind of a formal way. Right.
Yes.
So instead of saying, "Hey, I want to ask you something," you would like to inquire about something.
Yeah. You can inquire about many things. You can call to inquire about a job position or like a listing in a classified section of a newspaper or online someplace like Craigslist.
Right. I could call a restaurant to inquire about, their event packages or menus.
Yeah, exactly.
Afterwards, Paul says, "That seems so bizarre to me." So when he says seems, that seems. When something seems a certain way, it means that it's giving an impression or appearing to be a certain way.
Yeah, it gives you a certain feeling.
Right. And when he says it seems so bizarre, bizarre means it's strange, right?
Yeah, kind of odd or weird.
Yeah, it's unusual.
Really, really out of the ordinary.
Right. And bizarre you can use interchangeably with any one of those words. But I think when you hear the word bizarre, you really associate it with something out of the ordinary.
Yeah, something really unusual.
Yeah.
So Grace goes on to explain a little bit more on this topic. And she says it helps them to meet quotas, but also with data analysis for health issues and academic performance. So quotas are limits or goals, like a specific point that you're trying to reach. Usually there's a number associated with it. What types of things need quotas or have quotas?
Some jobs or companies might have sales quotas,
Yeah.
right? Meaning there's a certain amount that they need to reach. Afterwards, Paul says, all right, this makes more sense to me, but he's still unclear about what to put because he doesn't see an option for Chinese. Grace says, just check the box for Asian. So this word check, it quite literally means to check the box. So think of that little shape of the check. But really it's saying fill in, mark. You can mark with an X sometimes or even color in whichever option would fit you. So in this case, she's saying check the box for Asian because Chinese is still Asian.
Mark it to indicate your answer.
Yeah.
All right, let's listen to the dialogue one more time.
Hey, Paul, what is that piece of paper that you are holding?
It is an application to attend university in America, but I am confused why they ask for my ethnicity. I don't want to say because I'm afraid of discrimination.
It is true that there are issues of discrimination in America, but it is actually quite normal for an institution to make inquiries about race.
That seems so bizarre to me. How does it help them to know what race I am?
Institutions such as universities, hospitals, government, even employers usually ask this question. It helps them to meet quotas, but also with data analysis for health issues and academic performance.
Okay, it now makes more sense to me. But it is still unclear what to put. I do not see an option for Chinese.
Calm down. Just check the box for Asian. They do not usually differentiate between Chinese and other Asian groups.
Great. Well, after hearing the dialogue a bit, it has me thinking a little bit about America and how diverse it is.
So true. America, as we call, a melting pot of all kinds of ethnicities and backgrounds.
Yeah, and in my hometown in Chicago, there's people from all over. It was in the center of the United States, and so as things were forming, like they've got so many different neighborhoods there. We have like Little Italy and Chinatown, and there's like the Puerto Rican sections, and
That's great. You can find all kinds of food and cuisine.
so much cuisine and so good.
Right. It is, diversity is huge in the U.S. And I think something else to remember is that just because people look a certain, ethnicity, it doesn't necessarily mean that they are from that country, right?
No, not at all.
Like you could be Asian American, African American, right? So meaning that you are culturally or, brought up in the U.S., but you are ethnically from, another country.
Yeah.
And I think because of this, we just have to be really respectful of everyone, not to discriminate, regardless of any different factors.
Yeah. The expression "don't judge a book by its cover." You
Good
don't know
one.
what anybody is or what they have inside and who they are.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, that's all for this lesson. We'll see you next time.
See ya.